tell you now, I ain't no holy individual, but I am righteous. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna steal from you, I'm not gonna cheat. I'm gonna tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. That's it.
Confidence, what's good, my digger? Can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Hold on, yo.
There you go.
My daughter was in here last night. She like messed up my setup. All right, what's up, yo?
What's happening, yo? It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Look at you, huh?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. I stepped it up a bit. You know, before we was phone conversations. Now I stepped it up to the Zoom. You know, I took a break. I stopped, but this shit, it just keeps calling me, man. It's for the love, man. You know what I mean?
Well, yo, like I said, man, it was fun when we were doing the phone interviews and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know you have like, you know, the love and appreciation and the actual doing of. So it's like it just seemed like it made sense.
Yeah, definitely, man. So I came back with Strictly for My Diggers. So this is all about celebrating, you know, us, you know, putting us in the forefront. You know, a lot of times we get the shitty end of the stick. We don't get recognized. So this is to make the beat maker the superstar. And from me celebrating you all, you dropping this OG wisdom to everybody else out there that may want to do the same thing that you want to do and get that status or whatever. Because I see you as OG status because you've been doing this for a minute, you know? And I don't think you get your just due. I'm going to be honest with you. You really don't.
I appreciate, I mean, for that you even recognize the fact that out of all the people, you're like, man, I know this dude. I talked to him. Yeah, he knows his shit. I want to learn, or I want him to show. And it means a lot to me, you know, because like, you know, people like to share what they have. You know, everyone wants to share something. And for me to share music, which is obviously my lifelong like love and passion, like with others, it's a wonderful thing for me. So I just appreciate your interest.
Oh yeah, most definitely, because you've always been fire to me. I mean, super fire. Like, in my opinion, you and a few others should be household names and working with these so-called guys that are doing their thing in the underground within our genre.
Yeah.
And should have no OG status like a DJ Premier or a Pete Rock and things like that. You know, this, you know what I mean? It's just crazy that you're not up there at that level. You know what I mean? And it's just a crime to me. You know, things like that. So what's up with Rashad? Y'all never dropped the second project?
No, but you probably you must have missed. We did an interview on IG Live the other week with this dude, the journalist Sincere. You could have got to see Rashad. Actually, you know, you see a clip on his page.
Right.
I'll tag you in it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you know, Rashad is just, you know, it's gonna be 10 years this year.
Yeah.
Already. And you know,
that long ago. Wow.
10 years.
Yeah. And that album from top to bottom, rhymes, beats, top to bottom, that came out in 2011. Yep. And that arguably was the dopest release in 2011. I played that from top to bottom for months.
Well, like I said the other day, Rashad was the butter on my toast. You know what I mean?
Man, y'all I mean, y'all had that chemistry that y'all was supposed to be that next, like, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, we left our mark, you know, for those that heard it. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, man, that's still good enough, you know, like cemented that piece, you know, for everyone to just, wow, relic. It's a relic, you know.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
You know,
that arguably is a classic. There's no argument about you can't you just straight up and down. That's a classic. That right there. If everybody said to me, yo, what does Confidence Work sound like? I send them to that album.
Yeah, thank you. I would say, yeah, that's a good starting point. That will give you the introduction and the sound for that time, and then you get to see, you know, the progression and whatnot.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. So you're still rocking with the 2000 XL?
I am. I still have it, but I'll be honest, I don't really use it. If you can believe it, I use the computer, and if you want to jump into the samples, I'll explain why. It comes down to the sounds, and the MPC for me works really good, because of the pads. You get to put sounds on pads, kind of chop it up and place it, and but if the samples aren't like chop worthy, there's really no point to use it, because like the only reason I'm real big in the MPC because of like chopping, because what I always did was I like to tap out the drums and hit the pads, the samples at the same time, so I can get the feel, the groove, like, okay, where am I going with this? What can I get into? Without that, it's just like, maybe a loop or a couple sections, and putting it into, like a DAW, you could just place it, you got let's say a drum loop, boom, okay, layers, boom. Like the MPC doesn't really, I'm going to take the shit and put it into the DAW anyway after, like, so it's tracked out.
Right.
So now I'm saving a step. But if I find see, the problem is like, and if you go back to Element of Surprise, it was a very soul driven album. And, for chopping up, man, like soul is just like key in between like some vocals and stuff, the way the music hits. You just take those little chops of sounds and start like, placing them. But I've been through so much soul music. There's like nothing. I might have missed like maybe a couple, but it's like I can't find those that what I want to be able to put on the MPC. There's a long-winded answer, but
right.
So that's
yeah. So I know you're a digger, but even back then when I was interviewing you, you were more digging, right? You stopped really collecting vinyl, correct?
I did. I still have vinyl, but I don't buy it anymore. Because I don't really have space to just keep filling up like shit with records. And B, even when I did collect vinyl, I would go to the stores and be like, yo, can I just borrow these records? Like I just want what's on them. I don't need to keep them. Like I'd be trying to like barter with the dude. Like I'll give you my license, I'll come back, whatever. I'll give you some money, but let me just borrow them. Now, the only way I will hold on to a record is if it had either A, sentimental value, or B, it has a known sample on there that, I grew up with and it's just dope. And then I keep those. That's what I mainly have.
Right.
It's either sentimental value or it's been used. And I just want to keep it for that point. So I actually just recently downgraded vinyl that I had just sitting here. Like, yeah, I might have sampled it right over the years, but it's like it don't really hold that much weight. So I'm like, let me kind of condense and keep just what I want. So I probably got about 100 records left.
Right. Okay.
So
gotcha. Now there was one trick you had taught me, because I used to study your beat videos back then. When your daughter used to film them.
Yeah.
How old's your daughter now anyway? She was real little back then.
She gonna be 17.
Oh wow. Wow, yeah.
She can hold that camera a little more steady now. A little more
steady, right. Yeah, but I used to watch your videos and just study them videos, man. I wish you would go back to making them like that you used to. And one trick you said was chopping it up, but also speeding up the sample.
Yeah, I remember.
Are you still doing that, or has that changed?
Well, again, without the chops, I really don't do that anymore. It's just I literally take, like, I'll be honest, like as you produce and progress, your mindset changes about what you like and what you don't like. And with chopping up it for two reasons, it always sounded better, like sped up. Just the sound sounded a little bit better. And then B, if they weren't chopped up too finely, let me go back. If the sample wasn't cut, if it was just like a sound, if it had more space in it, you had to be careful because it would reflect in your BPM. You might not be able to make the BPM whatever you wanted.
Right.
because the sample wasn't short enough, right? So that was like another side of it. Like until I got more refined too, but it's kind of weird. Like I love like the sped up sound. It wasn't too sped up, but it sounded like it gave it like a little more of an edge,
Right.
in some respect. And then again, like if you didn't like trim the sound too much, you would have some room where when you play it, it's going off beat because your BPM is not set to that BPM. So it's like, okay, do I time stretch all these little sounds to match my BPM, or do I just make the BPM whatever the sample is telling me it really is playing at? So you have to like fine tune essentially.
Right.
Right. But nowadays, because I'm not really like chopping like that, I'm kind of like taking it as is. And in a lot of respect, leaving it as 0 keeps all that original music sound intact too. Right. So it's like kind of give and take. You know what I mean? And you got to, if you're in the mood to experiment, okay, great. If not, it's at 0, the pitch.
Right. Now, at one time, you were kind of like dead set against just straight looping. Do you still feel that same way?
I don't anymore. Do you know why?
Why is
that? Again, it comes down to sample selection. Okay, so as you probably may guess, that I'm very critical. I'm very picky with sounds, and I'm not gonna just loop anything. So, it really depends, like what's available, what inspires me, what motivates me that I want to use. Like at this point, I'm taking anything. Okay, because like you kind of think back to like DJ Premier, right? The king of like chopping, right? And now, he doesn't have that. He doesn't do that anymore. Like when he does have a beat, right? In this day and age, it's not like he point out beats with artists every week like he used to. Right. So it's like it's probably two things. Okay, like everybody's doing my shit, so I gotta reinvent myself, right? Like I'm gonna come up with a new sound, new style. Or B, I got nothing else to sample. The fuck am I gonna do? I can't make my shit anymore. I got no more samples that like I can cut up and do what I used to do. That's soul. And majority of his like ill joints were soul cut up. Mm-hmm. Eventually, you're gonna run out of shit to sample. And so for me, that's why it's like, I'll take whatever the fuck I can find, but it's still got to have something, whether I take a loop or I take a couple sections and make it a loop. Right. It's got to have something that I can feel and work with to add on to, from that point, from that foundation. So, yeah, I'm down for anything, man, because like, it's slim pickings out here.
Yeah. Yeah. So when it comes to drums, right? Are you into taking just drum loops, or do you have to take each individual sound and play it yourself?
Well, going back to the chopping, like I always like to have the kick, snare, and hat, because again, like if I'm tapping it out, I want to tap everything so I can get a groove. If you got like a drum break, you just put the break and tap the pads. It doesn't really have the same feel for me. Mm-hmm. So I would hardly ever use a drum break with like chopping sounds. In fact, if you listen to Rashad and Confidence, there were 2 breaks on that album. Yeah. One break, the music definitely was not chopped up. On the other one, it was more so. It did work. But again, like at the end of the day, right? If you look at that whole album, that's one song out of all of them that was kind of chopped up, that there was a break. So you say 9 out of 10 times, I had a kick, snare, and a hat. But in today, like I said, not really using the MPC, I'd rather have a break because it's less work for me. Like I'm like streamlined. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'll be honest, like some of these breaks, like they got some ill grooves, like I might not be able to make on my own. Right. So if it's dope enough, I'm using it. Like it's like E-digging. I don't give a fuck. Like if it sounds good, I'm using it.
Right.
I'm not this holier than thou shit. Like
right. You've loosened up a lot. You've loosened up a lot, man. Just to hear you say this, I'm looking like, yo, before you was don't you dare move that. You better start chopping. I mean, he's like, don't do it. You know what I mean?
Yes. And I pay my dues and I could still do it. I would do it if I could find the right shit.
Right.
Or if I'm motivated. Like maybe it is the right shit, but my mind's not like,
right.
I want to cut this up into like 50 pieces to find like 6 of them. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit like that. So it's all these like variables that gotta be like hitting right to allow you to get into your zone.
Right.
So for me,
do you think because the way the game has changed so much with beat makers that your motivation is not there like it used to be as the older we get?
Yeah, I think the key word is older you get, right. Because you start to like kind of not like wind down, but you're not like there's not all these other sort of factors involved like there used to be. Right. Like just even turn MP on and like I'm ready, I'm making a beat, and even that like maybe it's like once a week or something. Maybe like you get on here. I mean, again, it's about either I'm gonna make a beat versus I made a beat, right? Because you could be like, I'm making a beat, but you ain't gonna find nothing. You spend like an hour,
right?
You ain't got nothing to show. So it's first is I want to make a beat, and then it is I actually made a beat. So yeah, like you kind of like I said, like with the age, you kind of like for me, like I just like kind of like slowed down. Again, like there's not a lot of inspiration, because our music, I mean, amazing as it is that in this day and age, it's still around sample-based hip hop.
Right.
Right. Because if you think about it, what other genre has lasted as long as this in the history of music?
Yeah.
Is there any other genre that has lasted more than fucking 10 years, 15 years? Maybe it's evolved, but our shit still has samples, right? Maybe that's evolved too, but there's still samples. Like it's so defined. It's a sample. Like I am taking other music and I'm making something from it. It's been like 40 years, right? 30, 40 years. Like, so, like all the greats before me, how long are they expected to keep doing this?
Right.
There are some, but it's like, damn, eventually it's like, all right, man, like, let me get into like acting or let me get into filmmaking or you know what I'm saying? So it's just, the dynamic of, I guess, life, like as we get older, like you said, that's the key.
So you don't have the energy to put together a beat CD or beat package and start shopping it to the next hot underground dude. The Griseldas, Rome Streets, the Makamis and all of them.
I do have the motivation to do that because the beats I have the beats, so I could just pick some out and stuff like that. But yeah, it's tough. It's like everybody, even in this day and age, everybody still kind of does this. Rap, make beats. Good ones are hard to find. It's hard to weed out and find the good ones, and then try to build a relationship. Try to make a joint or two, keep going, right? There's a lot of factors involved. For me, like we're old school, like you gotta have quality, like across the board, So
definitely. And is there any real money in this anymore? Can you make a living off of this nowadays? There's only a certain few, right?
But yeah, I think a certain few can, which is again, like if they're doing samples, you know what I'm saying, or they're rhyming over samples or they're making samples and they're living off it in 2021, like that's real impressive.
Right.
And now they may have been doing it for the past 15 years or whatever, but again, they're still doing it. So it's amazing to me. But maybe it's like, like the NBA, like everybody plays basketball, only X amount of people are going to the NBA, right? So there's always that select few that can always do it, and everyone else is striving or trying to get close or they're doing the thing, but so I feel like it's something like that.
Are we going to get any more albums produced by Confidence working with this group or that artist? Is that done, or I'm going to have to just watch you on Instagram when you feel like making a beat?
Well, actually, I got an album that is more than halfway done with my dude Punchline.
Okay.
We're gonna probably have about, like 14 joints, and that's just pretty dope, man. Like, first of all, I mean, for me, I was impressed that, just the backstory that he found me, which is pretty sick. And we built a relationship and we started working, recording, and that's gonna be a Punchline and Confidence project, which is pretty sick to me. I'm impressed with that,
Right.
to still do an album like that. And I got a project with my dudes from Tennessee, Three Sons. Me and my man Jay Farrer did the production on that. That shit's done. We're just trying to.
Right.
We're gonna get some vinyl for it and put that out here hopefully soon.
Mm-hmm.
So there are projects. And yeah, man, if the right artist is around, I have beats,
Right.
So I would love to continue to put out good quality music with the right artist.
Right. But nowadays it's all for the love then, because it's really no, you can't sustain a lot of us can't sustain ourselves strictly off that whole wanting to be the big rap star,
Yeah.
star. That dream is pretty much it's fizzled out. It's just for the love. You do it, have something to do half the time. You know what I mean?
I agree. It's you make a little money, but like you said, it's just like a passion. It's the love. It's being there from the early days and still having the motivation to do it. That's what it's all about, at the end of the day.
Right. So I guess no Rashad and Confidence, that's not in the works, or is it? Yes, maybe.
I mean, Rashad likes to, I feel like, I mean, we have a handful of joints that we've done over the years from the early days, and we were talking about like, let's just put this one song out or maybe two, because like, what are we gonna do? It's just sitting here like, shit's sick. And he's always like, I'm cool with that. Like, I'm down. But it's just a matter of like if and when type of thing.
Gotcha. And there's another group you work with, G. Dot and Born. I know Born went toward the, I guess, mainstream more so.
It looks like it, yeah.
It looks like he went like totally left the whole boom bap alone.
I know. I know. I mean, I respect it, because it's like, at least he didn't come out going right to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he came into the game with the authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe he was like, you know what? All right, I did that. Now I want to see what they're doing. All right, let me try that. So it's kind of like gangster. I respect that motherfucker more than someone, I forget the wording, but I think it was on one of the albums. Somebody, I think it was Premier saying it.
Right.
But I mean, I respect that, because like, he basically paid his dues,
mm-hmm.
and he respected the roots, and then he branched out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Rather than just come in like trying to sound like everybody else, but nobody know who you are.
Right.
Like, at least he had that foundation, and that,
mm-hmm.
I think that's great.
I would love to hear a Edo G album produced top to bottom by you. That'd be dope.
It would be. I think it would be. I mean, the joints we did on that album, they were pretty sick. Well, I was telling somebody, why don't you set up a GoFundMe, and I'll be the moderator, and we'll see how much we can raise to make that happen.
Oh wow, you need a budget for that, huh?
Yeah, probably. A lot of and I don't. I think it was the right situation. I think a cat would be like, yeah, I'm down. But at the end of the day, like, these dudes have been around so long. It's like, I hate to say, they deserve some sort of monetization, maybe up front, or, you know what I mean? Because do they have to do something with you? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, maybe, but maybe not. So, it's give and take. So I respect it. But, again, if the right situation comes along, I don't see why anybody would turn.
Right. Because one thing I can say, you got a lot of dope shit under your belt. You got the Tragic Allies. That album was fire.
Thank you.
So no one can never take anything away from you at all. I mean, you definitely made your mark.
Yeah, man. I hope so. At the end of the day, that's all I want to do, because like, I just want to I just want to do what the people before me did, you know, like I want to be remembered to some extent,
Right.
you know, like, I mean, what more, like you said, for the love, like what more could you want?
Right.
I don't want to be remembered like, yeah, man, I think he made $1 million off that album. I want to be remembered like, yo, that's the dude, yo, that was Rashad in Confidence, you know.
Right.
I'd rather have that because that's gonna last longer,
Right.
you know.
Right. Right.
So
Right. 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 So, I mean, what's going on with you now moving in 2021? I mean, outside of the punchline thing, is anything else you're doing? Or have you gotten into any other aspects of hip hop?
I touched briefly on sort of the new era,
Okay.
but really all I did was you know, I kept like my same formula, but I just changed the drums up, you know, to the drums of today just to see and slow down the beats, the BPM, just to see how it would work. And for a minute I said, you know, I was like, I think this will work because you know, I say historically, you know, with the you know, big Pete Rock influence early on,
Right.
you know, that smooth, soulful or like jazzy type of feel, that sound could work, you
Right.
know, with the samples. And then just the drum break is almost like with the drum pattern of today, it's almost like I'm not even listening to that. I just want to let me hear the groove. Let me hear what I did.
Right.
And it would I did a handful of them and I'm like, man, I think this could work. But then I just stopped doing it. You know, I just kind of reverted back.
What made you?
Um,
It was the love wasn't there, was it, for that? Or
I think it's there, but it's not like at the forefront. You know,
right.
it's not like I every time I come in and try to make a beat, I'm not like thinking that, but it's
Right.
there, like in the back of my mind. Um, but you know, again, I have given it a little thought, like in general, like you know, like I was saying earlier, you know, eventually you're gonna go through so. I mean, I've gone through so much music, you know, it's like all right, what am I gonna do? Like, what else am I gonna sample? Type of thing. So it's like, you know, what else can I do? And you know, like I've dabbled with like keyboard shit, like when I was younger, just to, you know, again, experimenting. And obviously, in that respect, you can essentially never run out of things to do because you're playing it, you know. So at the end of the day, it's like, how do you stay motivated?
Right. Right. Now I was talking with DJ Doom just before I got on with you, and also on the show I had Fifth Seal. Okay. And
Okay.
all of you guys are like OGs. And I was saying what would really be dope, like you had before, you had the school of confidence. Like if y'all, you know, the next level after making beats, selling beats and all that would have, you know, courses, you know, instructional videos that you're all selling, you know, from showing them how to hook up their equipment to showing them, you know, sample based hip hop. Those, because there's a lot of younger guys that are in that genre that I've interviewed, you know, that are out now. They're in their early 30s, you
Yeah.
know, late 20s, doing the same type of hip hop. But to get that OG wisdom from you guys would be really, really dope. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the it's still around, but a lot of the elements from your era has been is missing with today's beat makers. They're still dope. Don't get me wrong. They're still dope or whatever. But I think it would really be dope. You know what I'm saying? Like how you know, I used to watch you. You didn't just chop up one record. You would chop it up, then you would take it and had a little bit of layers to it and create
Yeah.
like a wall of sound. And I think your wisdom is definitely needed. You know, all of you OG guys have been doing it for a minute. Now it's to the point you ain't touching the pads. Now you got instructional, you got courses, you got it's like a school, you know, that people can enroll into, online classes, you know, showing your techniques.
It would be cool, like a collective of,
Right,
you know, producers that it's kind of like Voltron, you know, we all have something that we can,
right.
you know, provide. And that would
Copy.
be cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I would be open to it. I mean, but it's just a matter of, you know, doing the legwork and trying to get
Right.
people into it and building it. And
Yeah.
again, I'm gonna give that to you as
Mm-hmm.
a project
Mm-hmm.
to start working on. And then you call me like Thundercats. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because what's next, because I got this, this whole thing. I've interviewed so many people, and it's going to be in seasons. Season 1 is already done. Season 2, and what I want to do is come back and snatch everybody from different seasons and have a round table. You know what I mean? Discussion. Everybody, right? Everybody playing what they done made for the week or whatever. Everybody's playing beats. Could be like a good 2-hour little something. It may be like a good, 5 to 10 of us all chopping up game. Oh, well, check this out. This is what I'm working on this week. Boom. This, playing beats. I think that'll be dope. That's gonna be next.
That's a dope idea.
That's gonna be next. And everybody's just networking with each other and just keeping this thing going, keeping it alive.
Make sure you do that. That's a really good idea.
It's gonna happen. I'm sticking with this. Before I'll do stuff, fall off. But this, but it just keeps calling me, man. I just, it's for the love, man. It's for the love, because what else am I gonna do? Come home from work and sit in front of the TV with a beer and watch TV till I go to bed? I mean, come on, man. This is boring, man. Nah, man. This is, this is what I'm doing now. You know what I mean?
I like to hear it, see it, and that sounds like a really good idea, though.
Yeah, it'd be dope to eventually incorporate a lot of you guys now. You know what I mean? With that OG wisdom, and we all, you just never know where it can go.
Yeah.
Where it
exactly
can go, and we might have a bigger platform where now we're getting compensated monetarily. We can live off hip hop without actually even making beats. But
yes,
you feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right. Absolutely. So there's other ways around to get money within this hip hop thing, this hip hop game, without actually banging on pads. You've done that already. But you still have the knowledge. No one can take that away from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I say that too. It's like, all right, like this is your core. And now you can branch out from that core and still do things. It's still but it's still related, So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm with you 100%.
Absolutely.
You better call me on to that, the round table.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Because it's going to be a mixture of the OGs and younger guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good.
I think that'd be really, really, really dope. Like I said, I really thought this out, and and things like that. Because I got merch. You know what I mean? www.strictlyformydiggers.com. I came out with a vinyl tote bag.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
That big. I got that. I got shirts. One shirt says "No free beats." One shirt says "Beat Life." I dig. I sample. I chop. I loop. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying. All right, so this is the new platform. You ain't going nowhere.
No, I'm not going nowhere. This is it. Now I'm really, because before I was doing MCs, DJs, whoever, whatever, but this is strictly for us. This is for us beat makers, strictly for my diggers. That's why you see the title. I just had to really sit down and think about, okay, what do? I am a beat maker. I make beats. I love beats, listening to beats, talking about beats. Let me grab these beat makers, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times we don't get our just due. Let me focus on making the beat maker the superstar, because it's always the MC that's being interviewed and applauded. But without us, they can't make an acapella album. A lot of times as beat makers, we got to give out free beats that we've spent, years, months, and days trying to make dope. You feel what I'm saying? So my thing is now, it's all about you all. I'm coming out with reviews. Like when an artist drops an album, right? I'm only talking about the beats on the album.
I like that.
That's it. I'm only talking about the beats. So if West Side Gun drops an album, I'm going through track for track and I'm talking about the beat maker. And I don't care about his lyrics. It's all about the beat maker. So everything
it's all about the beat.
Strictly for my diggers. That's it.
That's funny. Yeah, man. Who said Will Smith? Give the man behind the wheel some credit. No, Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
Get a man behind the wheel some credit. Now that was the DJ, but same thing applies to the producer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, behind the drum machine some credit.
Give the man behind some credit.
Right. How many people have, you give these guys beats, they make albums off of it, sell it, and then you're still working your construction job. You know what I mean? And this
Yep.
man
Maybe
is
out touring, doing shows or
right.
whatever, selling merch.
Right. Because you think about it, as a beat maker, we come out with these beats with the artists or whatever that want to work with us. You know what I mean? They get money off the album that we get the hat, but they get to go. They don't pay you if they do a show and rhyme over your beats. You don't get no paper for that. You don't get no paper, for the features that they do, whatever, if they use your beat, So, I
You'd be
mean,
lucky. Yeah, you'd be lucky if it's on your Spotify profile.
Right. So, a lot of times, they'll put out a video and they're doing their little thing. You'll say directed by so-and-so, but who did the beat?
Yeah. It's funny because you're right. In the later years, the producer tag would not be in the video. Like when people, when artists were still putting the tags in, the producer would not even be listed.
Right.
It was just directed by.
Right.
And like, who the fuck cares about that? No one's like, I get my brother to do a video for me.
Right. Exactly. So, that was that, and that was the whole thing. Just from what observing, I'm seeing, because I was like, okay, I got to do something next, and then I just started looking, and I'm observing, like, you know what, we're not appreciated at all, So I'm giving everybody's getting their just due, and for me, and so I'm celebrating you all, and then you're all passing on this knowledge, you know what I mean, to everybody, to all the ones coming up, after you all. So This is strictly for my diggers, man. This is what it is, man. Strictly for my diggers. And I'm just reaching out to everybody. I'm pulling everybody I interviewed before, you know what I mean? Which was yourself, a few others. I'm bringing them all back into the forefront. So when people see this confidence, let me check him out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might catch a few album sales or whatever. Or people hit you up like, yo.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like you never know who's listening.
You never know who's listening and things like that. So I'm just pushing this forward, you push it as well, because I chop up, clips and I put it on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, definitely.
Repost that, retweet it when you see it, and things like that. But it was always a pleasure chopping it up with you. You know what I'm saying? We'll definitely keep in touch. I'm going to definitely hold you to that when I do that panel.
Yo, I'm down, man. I'm down to build and network and shit, and who knows what can happen, right? Like you said.
Right. We'll just see what happens, man. It's just a coalition, and we, like Andre 3000 said, the South got something to say. Well, the beat makers, the producers, we got something to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right. It's the inner workings, or whatever else, like how you were able to make this hit, or what I'm saying, because it ain't come from you. It came from the beat maker, because like you said, you can't make no one's gonna listen to an acapella album. Absolutely. Crazy. The fuck
unless you do spoken word poetry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all different.
On it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know how it is, man. Anyway, man, enjoy your Saturday afternoon or whatever.
Thank you, brother. Hey, thanks for getting in touch again, man. It's been a long time. I been seeing you making beats in your closet. I don't know what's going on with that, but do your thing. I know you don't got making beats. Closet, Why are you making beats in the closet?
Because I just bought a townhome, right? Because before I was in my washroom.
Oh, is that what it was?
It wasn't the other time I was in my washroom, but I bought me a townhome. But I want to be, because I'm a single man. I like to deal with the ladies, so I like to close the closet up so they don't have to see the inner workings or what I'm doing. I can close the closet and it's incognito. Then when I want to make beats, I just open up the closet because this is where I'm at now.
Because I see like the records up top ready to fall.
Yeah, and they fell down. That they finally collapsed.
It looked like it.
I came home and them records, good thing it didn't damage the computer or anything.
Oh, yeah.
I came home from work and it was bad. I mean, all them records, it collapsed.
That's crazy. But that was the old setup. That was the old setup.
No. The old setup was fine. When I moved, I put it back on the rack. And I didn't know the rack yet. And eventually I came home.
Oh, shit. The new setup, it fell.
Came crashing down.
Damn, that's funny.
Yeah.
Nah, I just play it. Because I see the, I seen the setup, with the ring, I guess the sort of the closet with the rack up top and the records and MP.
Right. Right. And I had that in my old spot. And in my new spot, I had it like that. And it just came crashing down one day.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's messed up.
but it didn't damage the laptop, didn't damage the MP, nothing.
No photos of the aftermath of that?
Nah, man, I don't even want to see that.
I know,
I'm trying to forget that even happened, man. I'm like, yo. And then after, because I don't have nowhere to put those records. You know where they're at? They're in my bathtub.
Bathtub?
Right, I just put them in the bath because I don't use that bathroom to shower. It's like, it's my little TV room.
Damn.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just digging now. I just, you know what I mean? I don't have the room.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I got a small room here that I set up, when I moved, and
right.
I'm like, I gotta bring my records. I got my it was like a 8 shelf little bookcase.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few weeks ago, I'm like, I think I'm gonna go through these records again and get rid of the ones that don't mean anything to me. And I fucking got rid of the whole bookcase. I had a smaller one. I fit like 8 into 4.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 4 shelves. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. It looks nice now. It's neat. I got more room in here.
Yeah.
I changed the whole setup, you know? So yeah, exactly. Yo, get them wherever, get the sounds wherever you can.
Right.
I mean, no one's gonna be like, well, this is a dope beat, but I don't think he made the final. Like, who the fuck?
Because if you really think about it, the average person who just listening to the music don't even care, don't even know.
They don't.
And
that's what
it's gonna be the beat maker, another beat maker that made. Oh, he didn't. Who cares? You're not making
nobody cares. I know nobody cares. And I tell my dude that Jay Farrer, like, we'd be like, nah, man, we gotta make this shit like sound ill. And then we'll be like, yo, but like 5 people are gonna listen to this. Why are we going all out? You know, for like, it's like the average person don't give a fuck about the intricacies and all that shit.
Right.
It's so funny, man.
Right.
But you a perfectionist type, like, man, this beat's got to do this, that mix got to be that, and shit's funny. But yeah, man, thanks for having me on again. It's been 7 years, roughly.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
Since the G.I.G.A.Z album.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're still doing your thing, and keep in touch. Let me know about the panel shit. I'm definitely down. It's a dope idea, and keep doing your thing on these interviews and building the brand.
Yeah, definitely. Make sure you follow me on IG and then subscribe to the YouTube page, strictly for my diggers.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll go.
The link is in my bio. Yeah, the link is in my bio on IG and on Twitter. So follow me on both those social medias, and you'll see what I got coming next.
I will do that. I will do that, my brother. All right, man. Good talking to you. Peace.
All right, peace.
I'm gonna tell you now, I ain't no holy individual, but I am righteous. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna steal from you, I'm not gonna cheat you. I'm gonna tell you the truth, whether you like it or not.